Hello, APUSH scholars. Today we are looking at APUSH period 1 from 1491 to 1607. 1491 is the symbolic date given to address the indigenous societies within the Americas prior to European arrival in the New World. 1607 is the end of the time period, which is the date of the founding of Jamestown. This time period will cover about 5% of the total content of the AP exam. In this video, we'll be covering just key concept number 1 of period 1. All key concepts can be found in the AP US History Curriculum Framework. Key concept 1.1 states, as native populations migrated and settled across the vast expanse of North America over time, they developed distinct and increasingly complex societies by adapting to and transforming their diverse environments. Basically, we are trying to understand the following essential questions. What caused migration to and within the Americas? How did native populations adapt to and transform their geographical surroundings? Also pay attention to the key terms and ideas: indigenous, maize, irrigation, hunter-gatherer, Pueblo, Aztec, and Iroquois. Let's first discuss immigration to the Americas. Most scholars agree with the theory that the first Americans migrated from Siberia by crossing a land bridge known as Beringia. This land bridge vanished as the climate warmed and glaciers gradually retreated. So why did the first Americans migrate? They moved in pursuit of their food sources, mammoths, oxen, etc. These early Americans lived in small bands and had a mobile lifestyle due to the dependence on the moving herds. As the climate changed and the spread of highly skilled hunters increased, many of the largest animals faced extinction. Nomadic tribes began to supplement their diet with hunting and gathering, and the beginnings of horticulture or farming. This, in some cases, led to more permanent civilizations and longer lifespan. The environmental changes, as well as the dependence on natural resources, continued the migration of the first Americans within the Americas. The curriculum framework separates the Americas into 4 basic regions. First, we have the Southwest and Mesoamerica. Next is the Great Basin and Great Plains. Third, the Northeast, Mississippi River Valley, and Atlantic Seaboard. And last, the Northwest and California coast. We will first look at the southernmost region. The framework states, the spread of maize cultivation from present-day Mexico northward into the present-day American Southwest and beyond supported economic development, settlement, advanced irrigation, and social diversification among societies. The major groups will focus on are the Pueblo, who will be more specifically addressed in period 2, and the Aztec. We'll talk about the Aztec in key concept 1.2. These groups demonstrate significant adaptations to and transformations of their environment. In the arid climate, American Indians developed elaborate systems of dams and ditches to collect water and irrigate the plants. This allowed for the cultivation of maize or corn, which became a staple in the diet of the growing population. Societies responded to the aridity of the Great Basin and grasslands of the western Great Plains by developing largely mobile lifestyles. Major groups to remember here are the Lakota and the Sioux. A lack of natural resources in this region made horticulture difficult. Therefore, natives living here were largely nomadic and had small groups as they depended on hunting and gathering. Later, the introduction of the horse would significantly alter life in this region. In the Northeast, the Mississippi River Valley, and along the Atlantic Seaboard, some societies developed mixed agricultural and hunter-gatherer economies that favored the development of permanent villages. The major group here were the Iroquois, who developed a confederacy or an alliance of 5 major native nations. Adaptations to the environment included burning down the forest to improve hunting and the growth of crops. Indigenous peoples lived in larger, more permanent civilizations and were largely a matriarchal society. This means that women had much of the power and decision making for the tribe. Thank you, Beyonce. Societies in the Northwest and present-day California supported themselves by hunting and gathering, and in some areas developed settled communities supported by the vast resources of the ocean. Despite having an appropriate climate to develop horticulture, tribes along the Pacific coast did not need to farm. They were so productive with their hunting and gathering of fish and wild edible plants. Due to the relative ease in finding food, natives here had more leisure time and thus developed more elaborate rituals and art. One specific development of the Chinook was the canoe. To summarize, indigenous populations migrated in search of natural resources and food sources. As groups settled in differing climate and geographic regions, they adapted to and transformed their environment. American Indians developed complex systems, and their lifestyle varied greatly from region to region. I encourage you to create a graphic organizer for your notes. Here is an example of one. These can be very helpful for your review when you're looking back closer to the AP exam. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, subscribe, like, and stay posted for more APUSH review videos.